So this is part 3 of my first little book on non-duality. I hope you die soon. The stuff that happens. Language. A word is not the phenomenon it names. A description of the scent of mown grass is not the scent of mown grass. Words can only point to liberation, and even then only in a misleading way. A description of liberation, which in any case is an impossibility, could not convey the sense of liberation. Words can only describe phenomena. Liberation is neither a phenomenon nor a collection of phenomena. Nevertheless, if there is to be a discourse about anything, including liberation, it can only be carried on in words. But there is also silence. Just as here, the black print only makes sense because it appears against a white background. All language is suspect, but in this book, the following words should be regarded with a special suspicion and always be read as if in quotation marks, because the assumption contained in each of them is false. Mind, person, past, future, now, then, time, place, here, there, I, you, me, choice, freedom. The word I in the sentence I am happy has exactly the same force as the word it in the sentence it is raining. There is no it. There is no I. Rain simply falls. Happiness simply arises. Most writing that purports to be about non-duality is absolutely dualistic. As soon as a writer suggests that there is someone who can do something to bring about liberation, you are reading nonsense. Often it will be highly articulate, fluent, complex, and persuasive nonsense. The mind. If liberation is seen, it is seen. If not, not. That's just the way it is. In the Upanishads, it is said, Advaita is not an idea. It is. The lightning flashes, the eye blinks. Then you have either understood or you have not understood. If you have not understood, too bad. Tough, isn't it? It seems so unfair to the mind that nothing can be done. The mind can confuse and the mind can clarify. Most of the time there is confusion. Occasionally there is clarity. The mind chatters incessantly, insisting that its nonsense makes sense. The mind is like a loop tape which plays all day long with just one message recorded on it. See, I'm right. See, I'm right. It comes complete with a device which filters out all evidence to the contrary. The mind insists that it can bring us to personal enlightenment. And yet it has to recognize that enlightenment has still not happened. The mind can never deliver on its promise, so it says that we have not meditated enough, or chanted enough, or shown enough devotion to the Guru, or we have not been sincere enough, or done enough work on clearing our chakras, or performed enough purifying rituals, or we have not searched hard enough to find the final secret, or, of course, that we have searched too hard. The mind believes in justice, in fairness. The mind believes that virtue and effort should be rewarded. If only I would try harder to become a more spiritual person, bliss would be mine. The mind thinks that liberation must bring a state of permanent bliss because it sees liberation as a reward for hard work done, the result of grace that has been earned. And so the treadmill of beliefs and evolutionary paths continues, and gurus flourish. When it is first seen that there is no one, the mind may be left shattered, but usually it rapidly reassumes control. The mind can only see awakening as a personal experience. Surely, the mind says, there must be a way that I can recreate this wonderful happening, hold on to it for longer, suck out its marrow, finally live in it forever. The mind's failure to do any of this may lead to despair. When there is a sudden awakening, the complete disappearance of the person for a split second, all the concerns that have dogged this particular life immediately fall away because suddenly there is no one to feel concern. In an instant, the mind is blown, and all the contracted energy bound up with the past and the future is released. It is seen that there is absolutely no possibility of personal suffering or of anything mattering, because now the person is seen not to exist. Depression? Anxiety about a job interview, hope that Louise loves me, fear about my medical test results next week. Suddenly, in emptiness, there is no one who owns any of this. But a split second later, it is probable that the self will return with all its self-concerns. For this character, during the period of awakening, the absolute fragility of the appearance is seen. Streets, people, buildings, fields, hills are all seen to have neither substance nor duration. Everything is simply a play of colour, a film of light hanging in nothing and lasting not even for a moment. A moment has duration, with a beginning, a middle and an end, and the appearance has none of these. Everything appears two-dimensionally, like a picture postcard. There is no embodiment from which voices on the telephone appear. It is unsettling to realise that my friends' voices, as they phone me, are entirely disembodied. Spiritual experiences. Spiritual experiences are simply a form of personal, psychological, emotional, and physical experience. In even the most refined forms of transcendence, there is always someone there having the experience. However, this cannot be known until it is seen, even for a split second, that there is no one. Spiritual experiences can be evoked by personal effort, just as a wall can be painted by personal effort. But they cannot be sustained for long, just as no experience can be sustained for long. The mind loves putting effort into creating spiritual experiences and enjoys the rewards they bring. To the mind, it seems so just. I put in a certain amount of effort and I get out a certain reward. It is just the same when baking apple pies. The mind says that when enough spiritual effort has been made, enlightenment will be mine, perhaps in another 10 lifetimes. But once it is seen that there is no one, it is seen that I have never made any effort, I have never done any work, and nothing is given to me as a reward. No part of my life can possibly have anything to do with me. In a split second of awakening, all the comforts of the spiritual path can disappear. All the efforts made, the fun and busyness of packing to go to India, the ashrams arduously visited, the meaningful travelling around the spiritual bazaar, the Kundalini awakenings and the Shaktipats received may be seen to have led nowhere and to have counted for nothing. Seeing this can produce ripples of laughter or a desert of despair. For when I come back after awakening, I may have got the joke, or I may truly feel alone and without hope. This may lead to a period of just sitting, in laughter or despair.